Hi folks, I've just been geeking out on a game that was released not too long ago, and it's called Elite Dangerous. For those of you that used to game in the 90s and had Amigas, you may remember the game Frontier Elite 2. Well, it's the follow-up from that, and I can't wait to play it. The only problem is it's only available on the PC at the moment, and the only PC I have is a laptop which probably wouldn't run it, or if it did, it would struggle. But luckily enough, it's going to be ported to the Mac very, very soon. And it also says on the website, if you do buy the PC version, you automatically are eligible to download the Mac version when it's available. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. For those of you that don't know anything about Elite, the original version came out in 1984, and it was on the BBC Micro computer, which ran BASIC, and it was all terminal shell programmable control thingy. Yeah, anyway. And basically, you fly a spaceship, you go from star system to star system, buying and selling goods, basically to make a profit, get a bigger, better ship, bigger, better weapons, and then you can fight off space pirates. But you can also hyperspace between different star systems and all that. It's just an amazing game, and I remember playing it in 90s graphics, which is probably similar to, you know, the early Sega and Nintendo graphics, which was what was available on the Amiga. But this is absolute graphic heaven. According to some of the interviews with David Braben, the guy that originally wrote Elite, the graphics are actually written to be supported up to 16K resolution. It also supports all the different joysticks and flight sticks and stuff like that. And the best bit is, if you have an Oculus Rift or lucky enough to have got one for developer preview, it fully supports that as well. So you can actually move your head round and see around the cockpit, the different control panels. It's absolutely amazing. It's the best game I've seen in a long time, and it's the only game I've been super excited for, realistically, probably in the last 10 years. I just can't wait to get it. Anyway, I'll stop rambling because I've got some food on the stove, so I'm going to eat that, and I'll come back to you once I've eaten that. And here we are with my donated laptop that was given to me about a year or so ago. It was originally dropped and the screen was broken. At the time, the original hard drive was working, and I managed to make a restore disk from the original installation. And then shortly after that, the hard drive died as well. So I thought, well, whilst I'm going to be taking the whole thing apart to replace the screen and the hard drive, I also took out the single core processor and replaced it with a dual core processor. It originally came with 1 gig of RAM, so I managed to get a second stick of RAM which had 2 gigs, which was the maximum the system would detect. So it now has 3 gig of RAM and a dual core processor, and a nice new shiny screen, as you can see. I'll just show you the rest of the laptop. As you can see, it's an Acer. It's a little rough around the edges, but it does everything I need it to do. And it's the only Windows machine I have now at the moment that's up to doing anything half decent. But like I said, I think it's around about a 2007 spec. It's a Celeron, and I'll just show you the damage that remains after I've repaired everything else. And it's just this corner here. If that disc drive open. Yeah, so it's just this piece of plastic here, but to replace that, I have to replace the whole panel and the touchpad and everything. So I thought, well, just for the case of that little bit there, it's fine. Anyway, so I replaced the hard drive with an 80 gig hard drive because the original one died not long after I had it. and that now has been replaced with an SSD, which I got for review. But at some point I will be utilising the SSD in my current Mac system, so I still have the 80 gig hard drive to put back in here when I need to. And the only reason I've got this computer is if I need to do anything Windows based that I can't do on the Mac, and that's normally if somebody gives me a Windows based computer that needs the OS installing or some files backing up, then obviously I can take their hard drive out. Using a USB interface, I can copy all their files onto here, burn them onto a DVD, and then obviously do whatever I need to do on their computer, and then I've got all their personal information and files safe on a DVD, just in case I can't restore their computer properly and I have to completely erase it and reinstall Windows for them. So this is essentially a little tool, nothing more really. And as I was speaking about the new version of Elite Dangerous earlier, I have been on the website and I have checked the minimum specs, and it does say that it needs a minimum of a quad core running at 2 GHz, whereas this is a dual core running at 1.9. So unfortunately it's not going to have the juice to run it. Okay, so enough of the laptop. I was just about to shut it down and it decided it wanted to do 9 updates because I haven't used it for a couple of weeks. So that's happily chugging along, downloading and installing those now. And I'm going to head off to bed, get an early night. So I'm going to sign off. So as usual, thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe and share this video with everyone you know.